Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are joining our space shuttle, still in orbit. It has completed its 12-day mission. It's actually gone quite a bit over, based on our consumption of resources. Yeah, we got about 10 hours of actual life on the spacecraft still to go, which should be fine. We're going to make our deorbit maneuver this pass and go for another sandy landing in the deserts of northern Africa because it's smooth and flat and a lot easier to hit than a runway. While I'm thinking about it, we need to rename vessel. The winner by popular vote was the Shuriken. Oh boy. Did I spell that correctly? I'm gonna go check. 1 second. I'm really sorry, but I just need to jump over here. And yeah, I don't think I spelled that right. I'm really dumb. Can I copy paste? Yes, there we go. Accept the Shuriken. Alright, so awesome. It has a name now, and we're ready to try to destroy it in the atmosphere. So we've got a 105.2 meter per second burn to get to in about 45 minutes. I'm going to leave the spacecraft oriented as is for right now because it will need to face that way to recharge the batteries. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Once we get to our maneuver node, 2 minutes out. We should just go ahead and take care of this, shouldn't we? There we go. Alright, let's get our RCS and our stability control system activated. I think we've got more than enough fuel to make this happen. Let's just double check. Yeah, nearly 500 meters per second. Ooh, sorry about that. Alright, so I guess our orientation here doesn't quite matter. There we go. So I would like to just double check. Yeah, we're going to fly past all of that, and that will extend out. Although, really, we can probably brake a little harder and try to land during the evening. I think it would be really nice to try to land one of these during the daytime. Wouldn't it? Have I landed a shuttle during daytime at all? I don't think I have. Alright, ullage. Let's fire up that AJ-10. Whoa. We are a little off balance now. I guess the more fuel being drained from the tanks that actually are aligned or along the center line of the spacecraft, and that engine being not so much, has created a bit of an imbalance. That's super interesting, and something I should consider when possibly redoing this spacecraft or updating it a little bit. These always get little tweaks and changes between flights, just because it's easy to do, and when you find a design, it's a lot easier to improve it than it is to make an entirely new design. So we're going to and we'll just shut that down there, save ourselves about 14.2 or so meters per second. And I guess we should probably get ourselves all tucked in and ready for our atmospheric entry. Means we should put the heat shielded side down. I'm going to leave the solar panels open. We're pretty good on electric charge. I think that will be okay. Alright, there's our roll. Yeah, let's just tuck it all in. Might as well, right? Just so I don't have to struggle with doing it while the inevitable fight to keep this thing level goes on. Oh, no. I want that open for a second because I need to move weight forward, which means we're going to transfer as much as we can. In. Oh, those are full. In. Okay, both of those are empty. Where do we have Aerozine and N2O? We have it somewhere, right? Not in there, not in there. Oh, these two lateral tanks. Yes. Let's pin that one open. Pin that one open. and move is, yeah, we're going to get roughly half of it in here, and then I will try to put the other half in the crew carrier. I am facing to retrograde. That was dumb. I just noticed that. How much more interesting would this have would this reentry have been? Tuck that up so we can see the faces of our lovely crew today. That took forever, and we've got also a fuel tank in here, although it is exceedingly small. We would like to get as much of that to the forward compartments as we can. It does help us with our weight balance. Man, that is taking forever. Very interesting indeed. Alright, and we're done with that. I'm going to lock for now these forward tanks just to keep it as ballast. So hopefully everything will be burning will be from the center of mass, or from behind the center of mass, or at least in equal parts to it. So again, let's get ourselves oriented for reentry in a proper manner anyway. Yeah, okay. Oh, come on. Level out there, buddy. And we'll get ourselves turned around. This might put our belly facing a little bit more downward when we finally hit Atmo. But I'd rather be angled a little bit more. Nope. Okay. We do not want to be off angle. That's what spelled disaster for STS-3. So we're just going to try something nice and simple and smooth. We're just going to try to come straight in as best we can. Oh boy, that was fast. And that's also very pretty. Maybe we'll use that. That could be quite nice, right? Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Stop looking for eye candy now. Let's just make sure the planet hasn't rotated too much. What's our time on this? 20 minutes. I mean, it'll obviously take longer than that, but we will be somewhere over land, and that's what matters the most. So, 137, we have hit atmosphere. Let's get ourselves angled up a bit. Alright, and I'm imagining this reentry, like all my other reentries, is going to take quite a lot of my concentration, so I may end up just speeding through it. If that's the case, I do apologize, but I'll try to remember to get the voiceover in this time. Sometimes I forget things. I'm very sorry. Alright, well, fingers crossed. Here goes nothing. Alright, sorry, just one last double check. I want to kind of guesstimate, yeah, it's probably going to be nighttime when we land. Really sorry about that. I was hoping. But we just don't have the time to make a couple of just needless orbits. Which sucks real bad. I thought they'd have a couple extra days, but I left them up there for a couple extra days, where they undoubtedly played cards and charades and made prank phone calls. Which I guess not, because apparently I forgot to put an antenna on here. They don't have a connection with ground station at all. Man. Well, I am not the helicopter parent of the space program. If they just want to go off and kick it in space for 2 weeks, you know, I can't tell them no. They're grown. They can do what they want. I'm not your mom. Well, so far, we're holding good and steady. Still here under Kraken bait. Periapsis is decreasing, which is good, at least at the time being. We really didn't see too many problems with any of these until we got into some more airflowy, I mean around 90 kilometers or so. Yeah, now we're starting to see some pitch and wiggle. Bring up this delta V. And that is obviously not a full accurate map of how much fuel we have because I have those forward sections locked. I'd like to decrease this angle of attack a bit. Now the fun part starts when we start burning off thrusters. So, I guess by this profile, that wind is not, or that tail is not at all in the wind. So it might not actually be doing us any good at all. Which I should have extended it up and off the back a lot more. And I guess without a third engine, there's no exhaust really that's going to be hitting it. Alright, sorry. Fly the spacecraft. Alright, we're starting to get overheat warnings on some of our thrusters. Expected those to go. Yep, goodbye. Hoping everything here on the aft section will give us more than enough authority to bring us down. Yep, expected very much to lose those also. As well as these here on the wing, and those there on the tail. All in good time, my friends, all in good time. And there goes one. It seems exceedingly weird to me that the space program considers it absolutely normal to just have things exploding off the side of the spacecraft as you bring it home. Alright, we're starting to get some yaw wobbling. Yeah, alright, and there goes that other forward thruster. So that should equal out our weight and our drag, but yep, more. Whoa, buddy. It's starting to fight with me a little bit. This should be interesting. Oh no, I forgot to adjust the landing gear settings. This is going to be... oh, I can't. I can't adjust the shocks in flight. Oh boy. I experimented a little bit when I was test flying this on the shock and damper strength, and never got to anything conclusive to where I didn't make this thing bounce like crazy. Although I also always tried to land it on a runway, which meant coming in tight and fast. And I'm going to try to do the very opposite of that. But as a precaution, I have included emergency parachutes in the cargo hold if something goes terribly wrong. Like STS-3's entire flight did. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's starting to fight with me a little bit. But hopefully nothing too terrible. Don't seem to have an issue maintaining level flight, which is great. Oh man, what am I doing? I forgot how to turn on master switch. Alright, well, I have... Now, when I say I'm having a little trouble getting my head around atmospheric autopilot, it's figuring out all these things here, as far as how to tweak them, what they do, how to make them do what I want them to do. But turning on standard fly-by-wire seems to be working, at least for this spacecraft, which it has never done for me before. I haven't tested it with this craft, but anything else I tried to use with it, it just did not like that. But this seems to be going pretty well. I like this. This is working. It is just... It's going a little crazy, as you could tell by the gimbal on all of these engines. Dancing to the Macarena. Alright, I want to check the map, see where we are. Okay, good. We are almost here at the coast. And I'm sure at our current speed, we will actually very certainly hit land. Once we're slow enough, I can make a turn to the north to hopefully bring us down in the daylight. which would be amazing, but... Oh wait, we're climbing. Well, that's interesting. Also unintentional, but I'm not going to knock it, honestly. I'm just going to let this thing slide because we have... I mean, if this is a better way to bleed off speed, then certainly we'll just keep this going on. It looks like we're leveling out and we're about to start descending again. Yeah, there's level flight. Can I tuck this away? Yes, I can, and good. That leaves that open, so I can turn it off when I decide to take the controls again. This is actually working beautifully. I am not touching a thing right now. And it seems to be managing our heading remarkably well. This is impressive. I should have just done this from the get-go. Well, here's the real test. Ooh, yeah. Stuttered and swivels a little bit, but seemed to recover quite nicely. Alright. 72 kilometers altitude. Our rate of descent is rather moderate, which makes me, well, considering our distance from the coast and our current telemetry, this is going to keep getting pushed out, I believe. Yeah, our periapsis is increasing, so this arc is going to continue to grow, but the day-night terminator being about here, it will certainly be a dusk landing, but I think it'll still look better than any of our other landings with a shuttle-type craft. If only we could just bleed off this speed a little faster. Just based on how well this is going, I might just speed this footage up in hopes that it ends up just being this static image with maybe some flames at some point. I don't know, that could work too. Man, it's all so pretty. Still holding strong. Way to go, atmospheric autopilot. You have made a customer out of me. And, yep, this is the coast. Kind of barely making out here. Ooh, and they're going to get a nice little light show. Probably very little, because we're really not going that fast. 6.4 kilometers per second. Relatively speaking, is not that fast. Well, maybe what is overheating? Well, it's not the parachutes. Something in the cargo bay. It might be our RTGs. That would be a first. Oh boy. That would be bad if our nuclear powered generators inside the cargo bay decided to overheat and explode. That would be quite bad. And we are not bleeding off speed very quickly. We're also very high still, 65 kilometers altitude. We are still descending. Which is good. Although, very slowly, and it looks like we're tapering back up to level flight. Let me see how quickly that... Yeah. Avoapsis is about to pass us. Zoom in here. Watch it slowly catching up to us here. Yeah, see, lots of input on our yaw command here from atmospheric autopilot, which seems to indicate to me that tail was not nearly as biting into the wind as I would like, and I guess if that's the view from straight aft, it wouldn't be. See, airflow is just going to go straight off the back. Kind of leave this in a void. A vacuumed vortex of air. And we're climbing again. Not very much, but yeah. Holding steady at 1.3 seconds to apoapsis. And as soon as I say it, of course, it starts to fall. That's fine. No big deal at all. How much sun we got left? A little bit. And it would be really cool if I could make a turn to the north, or even a turn to the south. Turn to the south would buy us more time in daylight. But I am not going to risk it, not with this flight, and not with a full complement of 3 Kerbals on board. Were this a test flight with just a test pilot, who would sign up for something so ridiculous, then maybe I would give it a try. But currently, no. I am not. This is really distracting. I'm sorry. I'm turning off the gimbal here. There's no reason for this. Just for the landing. Obviously, we'll keep the gimbal active during times when the engines are firing, but that's getting a mite bit ridiculous. All right, I would like to land at any time now. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be crossing the Terminator soon. So maybe after we're in some more suitable speeds, I'll just do a complete about face. This thing is pretty maneuverable at lower speeds. And by lower speeds, I mean Mach 2. It'll do some pretty fun things. But 5.6 kilometers per second seems a little excessive. But I'll do what I can to bring this down during the day. I know it's just way more fun to look at. Alright, well, seeing as how this is going to take a while, I'm probably just going to speed through some of it. So I'll pick you guys up in just a bit. Well, that worked well. See, this is why we don't do small, touchy maneuvers at very high speeds. I should have just left it alone. I should have just left it alone. Well, it's a good way to bleed off lots of speed very quickly. Come on, Alice, you can get it back. Come on. Come on. Oh, just get your nose into it. Almost. Come on. Almost there. Come on. Come on, Alice. You can do this. Get it back. Get it back. Come on. Almost there. Get it into the wind. All right. Good job. Now, let's level this bird out. Jeez. All right. That was entirely my fault. I decided I should try to start turning things, and that was a bad idea. I can't even see horizon. But I know we've got altitude. We'll make a couple of very high G maneuvers and set our glide scope. Hit our master switch. And I'm going to take my fingers off the controls again. This could have been a textbook reentry had I just not messed with stuff. But now we are deep in the nighttime side of things. Although we are heading west, I don't think we have enough glide scope to make that up. It is very, very nighttimey. As you can see, it is... We're just a plane adrift in the darkness. Although we could just could fire up this engine. Yeah, we're accelerating. I'll give it a couple of minutes of burn, and hopefully we will be able to get some last fleeting minutes of daylight out of this. This engine isn't going to take us very far. But we do have unlimited ignitions, which is excellent. Alright, we'll leave it there. And, well, we'll take it as far as we can. I'll pick you guys up when it looks like we're going to have to land it no matter what. Alright, well, we're about 1.5 kilometers in altitude. We're going to start bringing that nose up a bit. We got a lot of speed we want to bleed off. I would like to get the touchdown speed as low as humanly possible. So we're going to try to just level off here and make it to the desert. We're certainly not making it to the daylight. That's way over there. Sorry guys, I tried. I also entirely messed it up when I did try. For a reentry that was going so well, I probably could have just let it glide on in and do absolutely nothing, and this landing would have been perfect. Still entirely sold on atmospheric autopilot. I guess my previous designs were just so bad that there just wasn't anything it could do for us. So we're gonna get ourselves eased in a little bit here. Yeah, climbing, that's not what I wanted to do. This thing does have a tendency to just bring its own nose up. See, like I'm not inputting that control. That's just where it's bouncing to. But at least we're descending slowly and losing speed also slowly. So hopefully we can make these two slowies converge at just the right place to where our terrible wheels don't send us flying back into the air. Ooh, no, we're about to stall. About to stall. Get your nose into it. Into the wind, Alice. Come on. Pick up some speed. Alright, that's good. 900 meters. Let's get our lights on. Alright. Rate of descent is a little much. 500 meters down. Let's get the gears down. And locked. Bring our angle into it a bit. And then we will pitch up here very suddenly. This touchdown speed is still a bit much for me. But we're edgingly close to our stall speed. Just like to lower that rate of descent a bit. Alright, here we go. Take it easy. Don't climb. Level is okay. So bleed off as much of this as we can. Bit much, bit much, bit much, bit much. Whew! Oh, no, 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 no! Fire the abort. Oh, come on! Seriously? Well, we did lose all the expensive bits. And put those away. But we're down. I should probably redo the sequence to or have the doors open on one sequence and then the chutes fire from another, because they did not deploy, as it still registered them as being encased in something. But we've landed on our super sturdy cargo bay doors. I think I will definitely fly Shuriken again, now that I've got atmospheric autopilot kind of working for it. I think if I just don't mess with anything, I can get a awesome, and we got paid. I think I can get a good descent out of this, basically, as long as I don't do anything, because I'm the one who screws it up. But it worked until I messed it up. Anyway, everybody's alive. The spaceship is mostly intact. We just lost the super expensive engines, which is the whole point of having a space plane to begin with. But I think with some very small changes as far as center of mass goes, this will definitely fly again. I'm very happy with this. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. If you've got any tips or suggestions or anything else, please leave them for me in the comments below. I always like hearing from all of you. So yeah, that'll do it. Until next time, I'll see you later.